Hello, here we are with an unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Xcover 2. This is the second generation of the Xcover units, and as the image depicts on the front here, it is an IP rated phone, so it's water resistant. So the Xcover 2 builds on the original Xcover to bring you more features. Now this is the grey unit that we're going to be taking a look at here, and on the side of the box you'll just get a rundown of some of the specifications. So we've got dual band 3G, we've got quad band, Edge and GPRS. We've got a 4-inch WVGA TFT display, we've got a 1 GHz dual core processor, 5 megapixel camera and a front facing video camera on the front, 1700 mAh removable battery, GPS GLONASS, and then we've got the IP rating, IP67 rating in fact, Android, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It's also known as the GTS7710. So there we go, quite a lot to run through there. It's a rather compact box, and if we pop this open like so, we'll get presented with the handset itself, which we shall come back to in a moment. There's a quick look at it there. Then we've got the Samsung battery, which as we mentioned has a 1700 mAh capacity, so nice to see that's removable. That will be a benefit to many people. Also included is a quick start guide, sort of fairly basic and standard, all wrapped in plastic there, but that'll get you up and going. Then we've got a black USB to micro USB cable here. It's got a sort of gloss finish. So this will connect to this, the mains charger for the phone. So there's two parts to this. We pop that up and then we slide that in, and we've got a 3-pin UK mains adapter with a USB port on the top. So that's where the USB will connect into. And then you connect that into the phone to actually charge it, or alternatively you can disconnect that and you can use this to connect to the computer, transfer data, and of course charge the phone as well. So you don't actually get an awful lot in the box with this handset. Okay, so taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Xcover, what we're going to actually do is start by taking a look at the internals of the phone and the back cover. So what we've already done here is we've removed the back cover, which as you can see has a locking mechanism on it. Now you have to lock it or unlock it to basically seal up the back cover to make the water resistance of this phone. Now you have to use a coin for this, or a specialist tool if you have one. They don't provide one which in the box, which is a little frustrating, but once you've remove the back cover, what you've got access to here is the micro SD memory card slot, and you've also got then the SIM card slot on the phone, and of course we also insert the battery at the same time. So we're not going to pop a SIM or memory card in just at the moment, so we pop the battery in like so, and then we pop the back cover on. We have to sort of really press this firmly in place, get good clicking sound and get that seal, because we don't want water getting into the back of the phone. Then what we have to do is use a tool or a coin to lock this up, so we turn it to the locking position. It's only about a quarter of a turn there, but you just sort of turn that like so to lock it in place, and once that's sort of sealed, that's the back cover sealed up. So taking a look then, as the big icon suggests on the front, this is Android. We've got a dual core processor in here at 1 GHz. We've got the micro SD card slot, which supports cards up to 32 GB. We've got this 4-inch touchscreen display with a 480 by 800 resolution, so it's not high-end sort of screen technology, but in all honesty, if you're on a building site or something like this where this device will be most useful, then you're probably not really too worried about the quality of your screen. You've got Bluetooth, you've got Wi-Fi. On the bottom you've got the micro USB charging port, which of course has a cover over it. Now there's a little bit of play in this cover, but not as much flex as you probably want. That could potentially break if you're not careful with it. But there you put in the micro USB cable for charging and data connectivity, and you put that back over the port to ensure that it remains protected. We got the dedicated camera button here on the side, and then you can see we've got this sort of raised texture all the way along to sort of give it that rugged, grippy feel to it. Although it's quite smooth to the touch, there are those raised pieces there. We've then got the power button for switching it on. We've got the headphone jack on the top, which, like the micro USB port, has a cover over it. It's got a tiny amount of flex in this cover. It can rotate but doesn't pull back too far, but you can connect up a set of 3.5mm headphones. Then round on the other side, we've got the volume keys up here to control the volume that comes out of the speaker on the back of the handset. And we've then got the 5-megapixel camera. We've got the LED flash here as well. We've got the Samsung logo etched into the back cover. It's got a grippy texture on the back. I don't know if you can hear that or actually see the sort of raised texture we've got on the back. And then of course we've got the locking mechanism that we've shown. On the front then we've also got the Samsung logo. We've got the front facing video camera as well, which might be quite useful. And then we've got the loudspeaker at the top. So let's just remove the protective cover there and we'll boot this up. So it comes with a 24-month warranty. This isn't the lightest phone either. It weighs in about 148 grams. So there are lighter units out there, but do bear in mind the IP rating that it's got. We've got the Android keys down here. Now, interestingly, these are not touch sensitive like on a lot of other Android handsets. These are physical keys, back, home and menu button, and that's going to be crucial that if you're working in an environment where water and dust and everything is sort of susceptible, then these keys are going to allow for a nice hard sort of confirmed press on them. So we're just going to set up the Wi-Fi. Right, so we've got our Wi-Fi connected up here. We're just going to skip through the next settings. None of these are too important for us for this demonstration purpose. You can obviously connect up your Google account, bearing in mind this is an Android device, so your Gmail and everything. And then you can sync your email, your contacts, everything. Let's just skip through all of this. Let's finish that up. So you've got that sort of startup assistant on there. I'm not going to run any updates now. You're just going to get some gestures, things from Samsung on this. So here you have your home screens. You can flick through them. You can scroll down from the top to get your notification updates. So you can control your Wi-Fi, your GPS, your sound and everything from here, or of course you can go right into the full settings. If we just scroll down and just confirm about the device. So this is the GTS7710 running Android version 4.1.2. We come out of that. We've got settings for a torchlight, so you can turn on the torchlight by pressing and holding the volume up key whilst the screen is off. So let's just show you that. So if we turn the device off and if we press and hold the volume key up, there you've got a torchlight, which is going to be very useful if you're a tradesman, and that's fairly bright as well. So we can then come back to the home screen and we can turn that off. You've got motion controls here. So here we go, if we switch this on. So you can catch missed calls and messages, shake to update, or turn over to mute and pause. So if you've got a call coming in and you can't take it for whatever reason, if you've got that switched on, turn the phone over. It will mute the sound coming out of the speaker, but allow it to ring through to answer phone for yourself. And you can shake to update for updates to the device. So you can switch that feature on and off. Of course, those features do consume more battery power if you've got them switched on. You've got options for language and input on here. You've got features around the lock screen, how you access it. So you can put face unlocks that uses a front-facing camera. You can use a pattern, or you could use a PIN code to secure your device against unwanted access. You can control your apps. You've got power saving options within here. So if you switch that on, it reduces the usage from the main processor, and it turns down the brightness of the display. And as you can probably pick up here, I try to avoid it, but this screen is a little bit reflective. we can go into the display, we can change the wallpaper, we can change the brightness here, so we can control it like that, switch it up or down. Now it doesn't seem to have an automatic brightness on this, so it is manually controlled. You've got the ability to rotate the screen or not, so you can see it's in portrait mode at the moment, but we can also orientate in landscape mode as well if that's your preferred option. Change the screen timeout, and you've also got other options regarding the font size and things like that. You've then got your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth settings and your data settings as well. So if we come back out of here and go back to the home screens, which you can pinch and zoom into to get an overview of your different home screens and tap into the one that you want. As with a lot of Android devices, press and hold on the screen, you get more options from setting the wallpaper to adding widgets and things like that on the actual home screen. We've got the phone dialer here, so fairly standard. This syncs up with the contacts that you may have in your Google account on your SIM card or stored on the phone memory, but you can dial along quite happily like so and make your calls. You've got your call logs, your contacts here. And it's quite nice to have these physical buttons on the Galaxy Xcover 2 here. It just confirms that press. You've got your standard sort of messaging application where you can go in, you can write yourself a message. Now you can again do that in portrait or landscape mode. You know, I'm just typing rubbish on the screen there. You get the idea. You can add attachments to it, so multimedia. You can use Wi-Fi or 3G to send your sort of messages over to the other recipients. Of course, you can use other services such as WhatsApp and things like that. Let's just go into the web browser. Now we're just using the standard web browser here on the device, but you can obviously download one of your preference, because being a Google Android device, you can download apps from the Play Store and kind of make it your own. So here we go to the Clove mobile site, but I can go through to the full desktop view if I choose as well. So there we go, it's sort of loading up a little bit over Wi-Fi here, but you can view it all. I can double tap in, double tap out for zooming and what have you. I can pinch and zoom as well, and that all renders perfectly, or as best it can, for the screen, depending on the content. Go back to the home, we can go into the apps tray. Now we're getting some notifications up here because it's the first time we've used it. But you get a lot of apps pre-installed, so you've got a calculator, you've got Samsung Chat on, you've even got a cardio trainer on here. You've got an FM radio, so you can connect a pair of headphones, get radio. You've got Google Maps and Google services such as navigation. You've got Google Play Music, the Play Store. You've got S-Voice for other enhancements using voice services. You've got Video Hub, you've got a voice recorder, YouTube. So a lot of things pre-installed on here. You've even got My Files, so it's a sort of file manager to go through and view the content on your phone. And then if we just go into the camera, we could spend all day going through all the different features, but this just gives you an idea. So here in the camera application, we can flick between camera and video recording with this icon on the side, and you'll see how the screen changes. So you've got a shutter icon or a record icon. So whilst we're in here, we can then flick between the rear and front facing camera for video recording just by pressing that there. We can control whether the video light or the flash is on. We can then go and control the recording mode, so normal or limit for MMS there. You've got additional controls here in effects, so whether you have any color tones to what you're recording, and then you've got more settings including self-recording, the exposure value, the timer, the white balance. So if you want to get a bit more detailed with your video, you can. So you've got video quality there, is super fine. If I then flick back to the camera, got similar sort of settings, and I can go in here and I can edit sort of shooting mode, whether it's single shot, continuous, panorama. You've even got an aqua mode here, so that all helps to get better pictures. Come down, I can change the resolution, so it's up at 5 megapixels there, but I can condense them if I wish. And again, I've got similar sort of effects here. I've got quick access to the different shooting modes. got my flash control, and then again I can flick between the front and rear facing camera. Just snap pictures away like so, and then I can quickly access them in my gallery. Tap into them, I can orientate in portrait and landscape, I can pinch and zoom on them, or I can flick through them like so. So that's just a quick look at the Samsung Galaxy Xcover 2, available from clove.co.uk.